hours but still get a result that is far behind your expectation? Why your effort just doesn't seem to pay off? So in this video, I will tell you the realistic truth behind this matter, and I will give you some advice to overcome the barriers in your situation. And also I will show you some real life examples to show you how can you apply my advice into a real life situation. Alright, so let's check it out. So the very first thing that you must know is that making decisions is much more important than hard work. Just imagine now you are at a junction. Right in front of you there are two routes. So you must make a decision on which route should you choose. If you choose a wrong route, no matter how far you travel for 100 kilometers, although you put so much effort in traveling, but you will never reach your destination because you are not on the right track. So no matter how much effort you put, you will come up with a zero result. So before you put any effort, you have to seriously make a decision, and you have to clearly know that whether you are on the right track, then only you proceed. So here are 4 advice from me regarding making decisions. So the first thing is for those Form 3, Form 4, Form 5 students, you will have a certain subject combinations, right? So if you're taking those subjects and you find that you hate a subject so much, you're just not into that subject. So now you have to take out a piece of paper, write down the consequence of dropping or not dropping that subject. Then bring this paper to discuss with your parents to decide together whether you should drop the subject or not. So this is the first point. You have to decide the subject that you take. So the second point is that you have to choose your teacher. Especially for those who are attending tuition classes, if you find that a certain tuition class is not helpful, you just can't resolve anything during that tuition class, then directly quit that tuition class and find for the other tutor. You are free to change, because you have to know that you are paying the tuition fees to the tuition center to solve your problems. If your problem can't be solved, then stop wasting your money, stop wasting your time, directly quit and find for the suitable one. So for those who are not attending the tuition class, so in a school, if you find that for a certain subject the teacher is not suitable to you, then you may consider to change a class. But if it is not possible for you to change a class, then you have to try your very best to figure out a solution for yourself. For example, you may have a group study session with your friends, you may subscribe to the DIDN YouTube channel, you may listen to her, talking about her personal methods in scoring different subjects. The main thing that I want to say is be proactive. When you find it hard to understand the content in a subject, you should do something to solve the problems. So the third thing is to choose your social circle. If you're not comfortable with a social circle, then quit and join the other social circle that you're comfortable with. Don't ever force yourself to stay in a social circle that you feel uncomfortable with and you just can't merge with them, then just quit and make new friends. Why am I talking about this? Is that related to your results? Obviously, yes. A toxic friendship will affect your life. Sometimes if you find it hard to merge into a group of people, it may not be your problem, it may not be other people's problem, no. Sometimes it's just because that you guys are not on the same frequency. So the fourth thing is about how to make a decision that benefits you the most. So here is a concept, which is sunk cost fallacy. This is actually a financial term. It means that you continue to do the investment, although you know that that investment is not beneficial, but you still continue to do the investment because you already invested previously. So you don't wish to waste your previous investment, so that's why you continue to invest to something that is not beneficial to you. So this is what we call as sunk cost fallacy. So when we're making any decision, we should avoid this. That means when you're making decisions, don't ever put your previous effort into considerations. For example, during exam, if you can't do a question, then read the question, understand it, and skip. Because some people may think, I already spent 10 minutes on this question. If I skip the question now, then the previous 10 minutes will be wasted. So should I skip? So again, when you're making a decision, don't ever think about that 10 minutes that you already wasted. Just focus on the choices in front of you, which is skip, don't skip, and see which will benefit you the most in your situation. If you think like you are almost there, you almost come up with the solution, then don't skip will be suitable. If you have no clue on that question, then skip will be suitable for you. Somebody think that it's cruel to ignore that 10 minutes. But listen, if you take that 10 minutes into account, you are actually limiting yourself to be sticking on that questions. So if you have no clues on that question, you are purely wasting even more time. And at the back, there are some more questions that you actually can solve, but in the end, you have no time to solve those questions because you waste too much time on the question that you can't solve. So you will mess up even more things if you limit yourself by taking that 10 minutes into consideration. So we apply this concept not only in exam, but everywhere in your life you can apply the same thing. Another example will be if you're thinking, should I drop biology, for example? But the thing is that I have been taking biology for 1 year. If I give up now, that means my previous 1 year effort will be wasted. So again, the same thing, don't ever think about the previous 1 year effort. Just empty your mind and see. If you drop, what are the consequences? If you don't drop, what are the consequences? List them down and see which consequence benefit you the most. And most probably that will be the right choice for you. And of course, you have to discuss with your parents to come up with a final decision. So that are all my advice on making decision before you put in any efforts. So now the next thing will be study method. I am very sure that you have heard about this very often before because there are tons of study methods online. You have so many choices. But now the problem is that there are too many choices. Most probably you don't know which to choose, how to choose. So now here is a personal tip from me. If you don't know how to find the study method that works the best on you, try to think in which lesson you can absorb the things easily by just listening to your teacher. Then think of the flow of the explanation by your teacher. How your teacher explained those things. How is the flow? So that flow will be your study method. For example, in this video, I explain my powerful study method and I take carbon compound, this topic, as an example to show you. I teach some parts in this topic. So if you can understand or even remember those things on the spot by listening to my explanation, then most probably my study method is suitable to you. And also in this video, after I show you how I remember those things, I conclude the flow of my study method in chemistry and biology for you in this video. So this video will be an excellent example on what I mean. So this is how you can find the study method that suits you the most. So last but not least, one of the reasons that your hard work didn't pay off is that you didn't subscribe to the Sun YouTube channel. Alright, so I'm the Sun. Have a nice day.